G'day, girls and boys. We're going to get started on our first digital technology lesson for this week. It's a bit of an experiment. We're doing something brand new for you guys, so we'll see how we go and figure it out if we have any troubles along the way. Now, we're going to be doing Scratch programming for this term. So there's quite a few new things to learn, and I'm going to show you all the steps you need to take. I'm doing this on a video so that you can watch me do it, and you can always pause it whenever you need to follow any of the instructions, and then keep going as soon as you're ready. And you can watch it as many times as you need to learn all the steps. We're starting out pretty easy today. Today, we're going to be creating our accounts for Scratch, be logging in, and we're going to learn some of the basic instructions of how to program Scratch to do what we want. Okay. So I'm going to switch over to my computer here and I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to be emailing you guys a link like this. Okay. I'll be emailing it to you as well as I'll put it on Google Classroom. Now, when you get this link, you'll be able to click on it and it's going to take you to Scratch. So I'm going to show you now. So I'm just going to copy that link. And when you click on it in your email, it will take you to a page that looks like this. It'll say, B Staples, that's me. Your teacher has invited you to join a class. So this is like an online Scratch class. All you need to do is press get started here. All right. Now, I'll just move myself over here a bit so you can see me. All right. Now it's going to make, you need to make a Scratch account to be part of this class. Now there's a few things we need to remember about this Scratch account. First of all, we need a username. And it says, for safety, don't use your real name. Now that's actually true because all of these Scratch programs we make are potentially going to be able to be online for strangers to see. So we need to remember some of our cyber safety rules and not put personal details up where strangers can see them. Okay? So I'm going to use a nickname now. The problem is that I still need to be able to figure out who you are so that I can look at your work and mark it. So we're going to do something quite simple. We're going to make our username the first two letters of our name. So my name being Ben, I'm just going to do a B-E. Okay? Then I'm just going to do the last letter of my last name, which is Staples. So S, B-E-S. Now, if your name had those, if you've got those three letters up of your name, I'll be able to tell who you are just from those three letters, but no one else will. Okay? So B-E for Ben and S for Staples. Okay? After that, I want you to just put in a number. Okay? I'm just going to put in any number you'd like. Let's say number 10. If I put in number 10 and I move on, then that's fine. Okay? Really, this part here is the part I'll be looking at to identify who you are. But no stranger on the internet will know who you are. Okay? Just put in a number at the end just so that it's unique. All right. Nothing too big because you need to be able to type it in. Don't put in like 6 different numbers or something. Okay. And then password. I would suggest just use the same password you use for logging into your Chromebook, and that way you don't need to worry about forgetting it. Okay, so I'm just going to put a password in here. All right. Now we press next step. So I'll click it. And it is going to ask for your date of birth. Now I'm going to pick August because I was born in August. Okay, and birth year, I'm going to pretend that I'm in grade 3-4 for this demonstration, and I'll pick 2010 here. Okay, so I've got those details in. I'll pick male and select country. I will obviously choose Australia. Okay, And then once again, we're pressing next step over here. And hooray, welcome to Scratch. We're in. We just press go to class. Once you go to class, you're going to see a page that looks like this. Okay, down here, you'll see a list of all the students that have so far joined up. You can just see the account that I've just made, BES10, as well as a dummy one I was just experimenting on. And a whole bunch of words and buttons. Now, the one we're going to be using today is going to be this button up here that says Create. When I click Create, it's going to load for a moment and come into this funny screen here. There's going to be a cat on the side, a whole bunch of strange little puzzle piece buttons. For those of you who have already done some Sphero programming with me, these will look a little bit familiar, as well as a bunch of other strange little things that I'm going to teach you about slowly. Now, this is the point where once you get this far, I suggest you pause it and you can watch a bit of the video and you can just unpause it and pause it, just do it step by step, because I'm just going to do it all at once and you just pause it and try and go along with me. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to give this program we're making a title. And we'll just call this one Lesson 1. Lesson 1. Okay, so I've got Lesson 1 up the top here. Now, after that, we've got a little cat on the right-hand side here. Now, this little cat is just what they call a sprite. And you can actually see down the bottom here, it says Sprite 1. Okay, so this cat is called Sprite 1. We can move this cat around by clicking and dragging it around the map, and I'm just going to leave it here for now. Now, this is the cat that we're going to be programming today. We're going to be giving it instructions to do whatever we'd like. Now, being a computer, it's at the moment stupid. It doesn't know how to do anything. I can tell it to do something, but it's not going to understand me unless I use its programming language, which is all these funny things over the side here. All right, so to start off, we're going to give this cat some basic instructions for it to follow. Okay? Let's start with this orange button over the side here that says Control. Okay, I'm just going to move myself over a little bit more so I'm out of the way. Okay, when I click on Control, there's going to be a lot of yellow controls here. And if I go up a little bit, oh no, where am I? Sorry, yellow, orange. Okay, sorry. Not the orange control, we need to click yellow events. When I click on events, you're going to see one at the top of events here that says when this green flag is clicked. Now I'm going to get this and I'm going to drag it over and put it in this space here. Okay? As long as it's in this space above you, it'll work. And what this means is when we click the green flag, it will do whatever we tell it to afterwards. Okay, the green flag is just up here, right up in that corner there. All right, so I put down my green flag. When green flag is clicked, I'm going to ask the cat here to move a bit every time we click the green flag. So I'm going to go over here to the blue one now, motion, click on it, and now these are all the instructions I can give our little sprite cat. So I'm going to say when the green flag is clicked, I want the sprite to move 10 steps. So I take this move 10 steps and I attach it to the bottom of our yellow when the green flag is clicked. And you can see it sort of stick there. Okay. If you put it next to it in another spot, it's not going to work. It needs to be attached underneath the bottom of it. Okay. So now it says when the green flag is clicked, move 10 steps. All right, let's try it. I'll click this green flag, click, and you can see on the side here, my cat is moving a little bit every time I click it. Move 10 steps, move 10 steps. That didn't look like 10 steps. It was a very tiny, tiny little movement. But that's actually normal. Because if I were to change this 10 steps to 1 step is only like one little pixel. It's very tiny. It's like, see, you can barely see it moving every time I click it. Very small. I could try 20 steps. 20 steps sounds like a lot, but it's not 20 steps of the cat. It's 20 little pixels along the screen. So there you go. 20 steps is moving it about that far every time I click the flag. Now give that a try. And I'm going to leave it at move 20 steps. And I'm going to click and drag my cat back over this way. Because my cat's facing this way. So every time he moves steps, he's going to move that way. Okay? All right. So when the flag is clicked, move 20 steps. Let's add another instruction in there as well. I'm going to put in this one over here in the purple one that says looks. We're going to get the cat to say something every time it moves those 20 steps, those 20 spaces. So I'm going to get this say hello for 2 seconds. I'm going to click it off and I'm going to put it underneath the 20 steps. All right. And now when the flag is clicked, it's going to move 20 steps and say hello for 2 seconds. Let's see if it works. Clicking the green flag, click. Up. He moved, he said hello, 2 seconds, and then it's gone. Try again. Move, hello. 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 Every time I click it, it'll move another 20 steps and say hello. Pretty easy. I might get him to, you can change these, for example. So I might say, only say hello for 1 second. So I'll change the 2 to a 1. Okay. Now it's going to say hello for 1 second. Let's try. Click, hello, and gone. I only stayed there for 1 second this time. See, the sprite is following our instructions exactly. It can only do what we tell it, just like any computer. Anytime we use a computer and we ask it to do something, we click on, say, on Gmail, it'll go into Gmail because it's following the instructions of what someone taught it to do. You know, it can only do what we tell it. All right, now I'm going to even change this a bit further. Instead of saying hello, let's change this to something else. I might get it to say Pokemon. Why not? There we go. So now every time I click the green flag, it's going to move 20 steps and say Pokemon for 1 second. Let's give it a try. Click Pokemon, 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 Pokemon. All right, it's working. Now, not a very useful program, but still it teaches us a little bit on how to do it. Now, before we go on to finishing up this our little program, we're going to make it look a little bit more interesting. Now, right now, our little sprite here is in a plain white background. All right, we're going to add in a backdrop to make it look a little bit more, natural, a bit more interesting. So right down the bottom corner, down all the way to the bottom here, there's one here that says choose a backdrop. Okay. Now, when I click on choose a backdrop, it'll open up a whole page with lots and lots of backdrops here. I'm going to pick this one here that says colorful city. So I'll choose it. And now you can see our sprite is in a colorful city. Now I'm going to move him down so he's on the road. Now I can click my green flag again, and every time I click it, he'll move his 20 spaces and shout Pokemon like some sort of crazy Pokemon obsessed cat. So let's try. Pokemon, Pokemon, Pokemon. There we go. It works. Now this cat is a bit gigantic. Look at him. He's like huge, way bigger than the buildings here. So I might shrink him down a little bit. Now, down the bottom here, we can see our sprite 1, and it's got all of the information about the sprite. Now, the main one we need to know is this one here. It says its size. The size is 100. That means 100%. It's full-sized at the moment. But I want him to go to about half the size. Okay, so what's half of 100? 50. So I'll write in 50 here instead of 100. 50. And then click off the 50. And look, he's shrunk. Now he's half the size. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Now he's walking down the street and he's not some giant to terrorize them. He's just a cat going for a stroll, shouting Pokemon for some reason. Now you can get him to say whatever you want. Just give it a try as long as it's suitable. That's no troubles. Okay. So, boys and girls, this is really just a very first lesson on Scratch, just to get used to a few different instructions. Now you're welcome to try some of these other instructions if you want to, but I'll be teaching you more of them each time we use this. For today, I just want you to really just get logged into Scratch, try this super basic program, just like how I did it. You remember, you can watch this part of the video again just to give it a shot. And then that will get you used to some of these buttons. Now, once this is done, there are a few things you can do. First of all, this project will save for you automatically, but only every now and then. You can see if I have a look at the top of the screen here, it says Save Now. Okay, if we just crossed this off right now, we would lose some of the work we've done. So I'm just going to press Save Now. I'm going to say Project Saving, now Project Saved. So we've saved it. So now if we turn the computer off, we won't lose our work. Now we have to remember to make sure it's saved. It does save automatically, but only every couple of minutes. So my suggestion is just save it when you remember, and especially before you turn it off. Now I can't even press Save Project Now because it's already saved. But if I make a change, let's say I change this from Pokemon to fish. Now it'll show it up here again. Save now. All right, click it again, saved. I've saved my project, it's all safe. Now I want to be able to see your project. So in order to see it, you need to share this project, okay? So up the top here is an orange button that says share. Now I'll click it, share, and it says congratulations on sharing your project. Other people can now try it out, give comments and remix it. Okay, so you can see here is our program. It's called Lesson 1. You can write instructions for people if you want to. You can say, click the flag and the cat will shout fish, because I changed it to fish now. Fish. There we go. There's some instructions. And you can write some notes here if you wanted to. Okay. Now, with this, that's fine. You can always press C inside to go back into the program and make more changes if you wanted to. All right. Now, on the top right-hand corner of the screen, you can see my username, BES10. If I click down on that, we can see a few different things here. All right. The first one we can see is my profile, which you don't need to worry about, but my stuff. If I click on my stuff, okay, changes you made may not be saved. That's fine. I already saved it. Okay, leave. Now it'll show you all the stuff that I've made. And so far you can see all projects. I've just made lesson 1. There it is. And later on, as we make new programs, there'll be more of them here. We'll have lesson 1 and we'll have lesson 2, lesson 3, and you can always go in and fool around with them and try some new stuff with it. So once again, I'll press C inside and I can go in and make changes. If you want to make this screen bigger to test out your program, you can also press this full screen control over here. Pressing that will make it larger and you can test it out. Yep, it still works. Shrink it down again with this. Okay. Once you're all done, boys and girls, you can simply just cross this off. That's no problem. Okay, I'm just going to sign out. And then later on, like you might not get all of this done in one go. You might get a bit of it done and then have to go outside and have a stretch or meet one of your teachers online for a video call. So if ever you want to get back in to continue working on it, okay, then you can just search Scratch and log back in. Okay, let me show you. I'm just going to go to Google here so I can show you. So in Google, I can search Scratch. and Scratch will pop up here at the first one. I'll click on it. And I'm at Scratch, but I need to sign in to get back to my work. So I'll press sign in. It'll ask me for my username. Okay. Now my username was BE, the first two letters of my name, and the last letter, and the first letter of my second name. So BES, first two letters of my first name, first letter of my last name. And then the number, I put number 10. Okay. And then my password, which is whatever you made it. I'd suggest keeping it the same as your Chromebook password so you don't forget. Then I'll press sign in. And here we are. Welcome to Scratch. It shows BES10, so I'm logged back in. Okay. And I'm able to, from there, click up here and go back to my stuff, which will be let me continue my project. Go to my stuff. And there I am. Lesson 1. I can see inside it if I wanted to keep working on it. No problem. Okay. Now, when I go back, I'll go back to the main page for a second. Under here, there's also one called My Class. Now, My Class is where you're actually going to be able to see the work from other people in the class who have also done things. Maybe you've made a particularly cool one, a particularly funny one that you want other people to share. They can see it in My Class. Now, remembering our rules about using digital technology, all of our content must be friendly and appropriate all the time. Okay? So make sure you remember that agreement. Now I'm going to go to My Class for a second. And now it'll show me like all the people that are in the class. So far, there's no one else here. But if one of your mates has made one and you want to see theirs, you can actually click on theirs and see anything that they have shared. So here's my other dummy account. I made one, BenS25. I'll delete that soon, but I'll click on this one, BenS25. Then you can see they also made a lesson 1 project. Oh, I want to have a look at their lesson 1 project. Click on theirs, and you can actually try out your friends' projects. So I'll press the green flag to get started, just up here, green flag. And there we go, Pokemon. And I can press green flag and it's going to still shout Pokemon when it moves. All right. Once you're all done, that's it. You can log out. Now I'll be able to go on and see all the work you've done. As long as you've pressed that share button, I will be able to check it out and see if you've made any big mistakes. Now, later on, I'll also post on Google Classroom. I'm going to make a time when I will be on Google Meet so that you guys can jump in and ask me questions. See, like, oh, I'm having trouble with this. I'm trying this. It's not working. And I'll be able to help you through it a bit. But remember, you can always just watch parts of that video again. Just watch the steps that I've taken. And we should mostly be fine. All right, well, boys and girls, I hope you are not too overwhelmed by all of this. And make sure you get online and chat to me later if you are stuck. But above all, have some fun and stay safe. Scratch is going to get more and more fun as we start to teach the computer how to do more and more things. Eventually, we'll get to the point where we're actually going to make our own little games on here for you and your friends to play. All right? So thanks a lot, guys. I will talk to you again soon.